Hey, beautiful people. So it is time for number 5 of the 8 things I am going to ask you to start examining and do a deep dive into while you are preparing your strategy for the next year. Okay, and so just a quick recap that I've been doing the entire time. Number 1, you need to realign with your why. Number 2, you are going to need to sweeten your services. Number 3, you're going to have to form a framework. Number 4, you need to build a container for your content. And number 5, you are going to have to design systems, right? So you can get in the flow, right? And so I am really big on systems because probably at the core of my soul, I'm kind of lazy, right? And so systems just allow me not to have to use my brain to think of all the things that I need to do or how to do or whatever. I am a very, very big advocate of one and done, right? Like I'm extremely efficient, which means I just want to know the shortest distance to get there, right? Like don't talk to me and don't take me around the corner to get to the block. I mean, just don't take me around the block to turn the corner, right? Literally give me the shortest and best strategy, right? Which is where systems comes into play. And so for systems, these are the things that I'm going to want you to look at this year as you're examining and putting together your strategy. You are going to need to look at your triggers, right? And so if you don't know what a trigger is simply an action. That's how I describe it. Like my client or customer takes this action, then what happens, right? That's a trigger. It starts something. A trigger starts something. And usually what a trigger starts is a workflow, right? And so what trigger action happens and then this workflow happens, right? Like I am not out here every time somebody wants to contact me going back and forth with them. I ain't got time for that, right? And neither do you. But what you can do is, hey, I've dropped the link. Get on my calendar. There's a form you're going to complete on the calendar. I'm going to look at it and see if we're a good fit even before we hop on that call, right? Because I don't need to waste my time and you don't need to waste your time if I can even just read from your application that this is not going to be a good working relationship and or you're just not ready, right? And so that's a workflow, as well as I have freebies that, like people are my lead magnets or whatever. So there's an action they take. They download that lead magnet and then what happens? Well, I have a nice welcome email sequence that happens, but I'm not manually sitting there creating that, right? Also, a couple of days ago, I was going to say last week, but heck, it's just been a couple of days. So a couple of days ago, I talked to you about your framework. And so one of the other things about having a framework is it allows you to create the templates, right? That you can give your customers and clients so you're not doing that every time. And so that's it. That's really all I want you to look at this week. Or today or whatever. I want you to sit down and look at your triggers. What are the actions that your clients are taking right? Like, so for example, they land on your website page. Like, what are the actions that they take? What is the workflow, which is a process, right, that happens after they take that action? And then what are the templates that you need to create so that you can stop recreating the wheel every time somebody sends you an email, right? Like you don't have time to use your CEO mind to be sitting over here responding, saying the same thing, typing it out manually. Like you're too good for that, right? Like you're too smart for that. So stop doing that. So this week, take a look at your triggers, actions, take a look at your workflows, systems of like a structure, right? As well as what are the templates that you need to create so you can be one and done, right? That's it. So that is number 5 of the 8 things that I'm going to teach you that you need to put your strategy in place as we go into the next year. I am teaching this again because I am developing a new group program called Elevate in 8. It starts on October the 25th. It ends on December the 17th, and I'm going to put a link to the details up above or down below. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to DM me or drop them in the comments. I promise to try to respond to everything. If you've missed the other 4 lessons, just scroll, do whatever you got to do to find them, and I will see you guys in a couple of days. Thanks. Bye.